had made.
So it's
So our whole thing exact. So now we need to, size your guy. And then once ago, my husband's like, so what's cancer? So next week, different, yeah. So she's very excited.
No, thank you. That used to be me so excited.
Okay.
How you doing? I haven't seen you. Well, we're gonna hopefully now we get back to like real shit. You know, I'm just
I used to do a stop clock for my daughter's dance soccer.
yes,
Everything is now, so they,
and I'm like,
I think 35,000 points. However, and now I'm trying to not do too much socialization. Wedding. Yeah. I'm very paranoid. You know, like my daughter's like, oh, the kids, the babies, and so you know, the kids are growing up. Right.
So worried. Depends what color the counter.
yeah.
It is. Yeah, most, that's what it is.
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, no, I used.
My name's getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
That's just a, oh, it's
I have the same thing. You know what happens?
Oh,
is
boy.
I
All
put it
right.
on my clipboard, and I snap it.
I think I just
So I
broke
reuse
that.
them, and I actually take the ink out. Take the ink out, and I clip and save it.
That's why I haven't slept. He's gonna be great. He's great. I spoke to him. I meet with him for Thursday.
But I love the notes.
It's gonna be good. Did you see it? I want to be him when I grow up.
I'm in an attic.
All right. Miss King, let's go. Now, I'd like to call the meeting to order because we're a few minutes past schedule, and if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our March, which is monthly meeting. First of all, I have to start off with it's nice to see everyone's faces tonight, and it was really nice to see all the kids smiling. And I hope they are still smiling when they get out of school and going to school for the rest of the school year. But it was very nice, and I'd like to just note it's nice that we have a nice turnout. And even though the mask mandate issue, hopefully, and it's over, it's nice that we have the community here together with us and the seats are filled. And I hope we keep that going, the momentum going, because while we might have been divided on some of the issues, I think it brought the community together. We had more board attendance. We had a lot more emails. Sorry, Joanne, but we did have a lot of things going on. Before we get on to other things, I just want to address how I ended, and the board ended the last board meeting. I think it's important, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart that I was disappointed. I'm not disappointed in how the board acted. I am disappointed on just how our community reacted to some of the things. Coming up here, we're all volunteers, and that's our choice. We give up the time, we run, and I enjoy it, and my colleagues enjoy it too. And it's it's very fulfilling to do this and to give back to my community where I grew up, where my children go to school each and every day. But at the last board meeting, I made many, many comments. We were very transparent. I think this is the most transparent board, and I sit on various boards, universities. I'm the board attorney for a $500 million corporation, public corporation, and I have a lot of interaction with board governance and other school districts. I'm involved with that. But our school district, I'm very proud that we are all very transparent. We don't have residents come up here and make a comment, and our response is not, thank you, have a good night, or we'll get back to you. We tried, and we have not capped the time. We have had 2 public comments. We, we tried, our hands were tied. I'm going to speak very freely now, and I'll let, if anyone on the board afterwards would like to say anything, because it's not a dictatorship here. But, we were happier than anyone when Governor Hochul on that Sunday at 2:00 lifted the mask mandate for many reasons. First of all, our lives here got a little bit easier. But, I can tell you, I was so happy when my children went to school that Wednesday and they didn't have the mask. And, my daughter didn't know what to do. She was 4th grade. She didn't know if she should wear it, not wear it. So do whatever you want. And she was so happy to come out of school and play with her friends and not have it on. But in any event, I know I'm going off track, but I was disappointed. I made many comments at the last meeting. We went through great lengths to try to address every pro-mask, against mask, anti-mask, whatever. We tried to address everyone's point of view and in a respectful manner. We had children present. I said many times that if you don't address the board appropriately, we're going to adjourn. And I just want to make one note. The end of the meeting, there were many times during the meeting, it was not appropriate, but at the end, it got out of hand. It was disappointing. And we adjourned the meeting. But there were no other public commenters. So I just want to be clear with that. We had no more cards. We did do public comment, and the meeting started a few minutes after 7 and it ended approximately 8:40. So it was not a quick meeting, and we had 2 public comment sessions. Anyway, I'd like to move on. I just wanted to, address that. I don't hide from anything. I'm very happy to talk to any resident, any parent. You can have my cell phone number. Joanna will give it to you. I'll meet with you. I'll talk to you. Not an issue at all. Moving on. We had a great budget meeting last night. I attended, thought it was great. Mr. McDade, excellent. Dr. Siniak, it was great. The residents showed up, asked questions. I don't know how long did it go on for, an hour?
About an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm glad, Ms. Keene and the residents that asked to maybe give us some more time. It was a good idea, and we moved it. It was Dr. Siniak's idea to move it to another night, and I think it was worthwhile. And afterwards, we had a nice dialogue with some of the residents. So thank you again, Mr. McDade. We're going to have another one in about 2 weeks or so. We'll get the dates up. May 7th, the meeting last night. I said we would disperse, and we'll have it again at the next meeting too, because in case our residents aren't in attendance tonight. But some questions about the Boces spend came up. So I'm just going to ask Mr. McDade. We said we would present it. How much did we spend last year on Boces, and how much did we get back from Boces?
Okay, one of the things that Boces does each year is they provide us a detailed analysis of the non-special ed costs that we have through Boces. Last year, we spent $1.3 million through Boces. Of that, a little over 300,000 of that was related to the smart bond that we did that was paid dollar for dollar, that didn't cost the district anything. So you're not able to receive any proceeds aid on that because we're being reimbursed from the state for that. So if you take the $1 million that we spent, we received $668,000 back from Boces after all fees and expenses. So we netted 67% back on what we spent.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. So hopefully that provides a little bit of clarity. We had some questions that came up with that last night. Thank you. I'm probably going to ask you that 100 times over the next few weeks. Okay. I'd like to also thank Legislator Tom McKevitt. And I saw him the other day, and I thanked him personally, but I'd like to thank him publicly. He secured $200,000 for our playgrounds. That will give us at least one new playground. I don't want to steal Mr. Carter's thunder, but he's working hard on that. But we're not going to stop, because we want to make it better, and we want to get more money because we're greedy. So we're going to try. We're going for Senator Brooks now. So Senator Brooks, we're coming for you. We want money from you, and we're going to call you, and we're going to get something. So we got I'll ask Sam during his presentation, but I would like, we need to know how much money we would need to do all 3 playgrounds, or how many we need to do. So we're going to try and get that done. And to Senator Brooks, I think I'm going to pass everything over to Dr. Siniak now. And one last thing, I'm sorry. I knew I had one other thing. Public comment. Some residents and some had asked that we do public comment twice. We're going to go back to the old way for now until we hear something else. But public comment, we're going to do agenda items only as listed, any item on the agenda. So the first number 4, anything that's on the agenda only. And then we're going to do whatever you want to talk about, number 12, public comments at the end. But I'm going to we are going back in the interest of time, and we're going to, we got to get some business done. We're budget season. We have work to do. We're going to stick to our policy of 3 minutes, but you get an extra because we're adding a whole new public comment. So you're getting another 30 minutes. So there'll be 2 30-minute public comment sessions, 3 minutes. We're timing. I'm telling everyone right now, we're timing all residents. You get 3 minutes. Our Vice President, Mr. Arnello, will keep time like we've always done in the past. We took a break from that for, obvious reasons. It was important to talk to the community and get things straightened out. But we need to get back to conducting business as a board. So with that being said, Dr. Siniak, your comments.
Thank you, Ms. Ryan. Good evening. It's so great to see everyone here. I see a lot of teachers, a lot of staff, parents, community members. We welcome everyone every month, so it's so nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. The budget meeting last night, yes, it was a huge success. A lot of information was provided. The great part about last night's meeting was the video at the beginning. Thank you, Ms. Friedman and her team, because we saw our students and our staff and our teachers and with the students and seeing how happy they are in the classrooms, outside on the fields. And it was a whole timeline of the summer until now. And it really showed the hard work, the perseverance from our faculty, from our staff, from our parents, from our students, from our administrators, that COVID did not stop us. So I would like to take a moment now to give all of us, especially everyone here, a big round of applause for getting to this point. And it was truly a celebration of our accomplishments and what's to come. Our playgrounds, interestingly enough, Mr. Carter and I actually met with, I call him the playground man, and his idea of a cost of what it should be and mine are definitely different. So, and as you can imagine, mine's probably has a lot more things on it, but we are working together with McKevitt's money, and we're pushing on Senator Brooks's office to give us more money. But we're really looking forward to designing and putting out on our playgrounds state-of-the-art equipment, safe equipment for our students, nothing but the best for our students. And for our parents who probably need a little relaxation, we are having a yoga and writing event on April 2nd, which is a Saturday morning. We'd love to open our buildings on a Saturday. We've done it in the past for our students pre-COVID. With our scope programs, some parent workshops. We're going to get back to all of that, which is so exciting, and looking forward to that event at Old Mill Road. More to come on that, but it's a yoga, breakfast, and writing seminar, workshop, soothing, healing, whatever you need, we will provide that. So that you'll see that on the agenda this evening, and the board will be approving that contract. Our summer programs, a lot going on. Once again, Mrs. Friedman is prepared. She has sent out the information. We are now communicating that to staff and parents. We will have our scope program, our camp invention, our foreign language, our reading, our instrumental music, our extended school year. So we are really excited to be able to do all of this again and open our doors all summer long, as well as with our afternoon clubs for our students. It's so great to see them in July and August and seeing them have fun as opposed to school fun. This is different kind of fun for them. UPK seems to be the talk of the town. We're receiving a lot of phone calls about universal pre-K. We have 52 spots. It is grant funded. We sent out an RFP to local preschools for their interest. Those need to be returned by April 1st. To Mr. McDade's office, and our application has gone out. It is on our website, and that is due from parents by March 25th. It will be a lottery drawing, and more information on that will go out, but we're very excited to begin our first year of UPK here in North Merrick for our 4-year-olds. Looking forward to seeing the children. And I think that's all we have right now.
Great.
Right?
No, I had that. That was when I skipped over the universal pre-K. That's great. And there were some questions I saw floating around. It is going forward. It's not just for 1 year. So it's on a grant and it's here to stay. So I think that's a big accomplishment for the school district. And hopefully we just keep on getting grow the program bigger and bigger and more grants. And that's what it's all about. We've got to now try to get as many grants as we can, branch out and make some, just make some improvements here.
Oh, wait, I have two more. I'm sorry.
All
I
right, go
forgot
ahead,
also.
Dr. Cynthia, go
Our
ahead.
music concerts were truly amazing. We were singing Jingle Bells. I think it was Valentine's Day,
February,
Mr.
yep.
Marams, wasn't it? But it was enjoyable to see the students on stage for the big stage experience. Each school had their own evening, and they were all so unique. The students were amazing. Looking forward to theater arts in a couple of weeks on Friday and Saturday at the end of March. And more information on theater arts will be going out, and looking forward to seeing our students on the big stage again at Brookside School. And I see Ms. Kelly here, and she's raising her, and she's, yes. Oh, yes. Looking forward to that.
All right, thank you. All right, great news, thanks. All right, if we can have a motion to approve the routine approvals, 3A, B, and C, a motion to approve?
Motion.
By Ms. Keen, second by Mr. Corona. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Public comments, again, this is for agenda items only, so it's guidelines for the public comments. I'm only going to read it once tonight, don't worry. Any person wishing to make comments or raise questions shall fill out a comment card. After you're called, come forward to the microphone and state your full name. All comments or questions shall be directed to me or Dr. Siniak. The board or administration, as always, will do their best to immediately respond to any questions. Out of courtesy and fairness to the rest of the audience, each person will limit his or her remarks to no more than 3 minutes, not to exceed a 30-minute session. Public discussion with respect to confidential matters, of course, is prohibited. So tonight, right now, we're just doing comments on any of the, and we have a short agenda, so anything on the agenda. I don't know if we have no public speakers tonight. All right, so we're going to move a little quickly so we can get to the other public commenters. I'm going to ask if we can do a block vote on if that's okay with the board, 5A through 5F, a motion to approve. But oh, okay. Oh, is that because of the Boces vote? Okay, we'll do that separate. Sorry. Good catch, Ms. Long. Okay, motion to approve 5A through 5E by Ms. Moran, seconded by Ms. Miller. All in favor? Aye. Aye, motion unanimously carries. And now, thank you, Ms. Long, a motion to approve 5F. This is the Board of Education may or may not nominate the following individuals for the Nassau Boces Board. There are 3 seats of the Nassau Boces Board that will expire on June 30th, 2022. The seats are held by Ronald Ellerby, Fran N. Langster, and Robert B.A. Schoen. Each seat carries a term of 3 years. So are we looking for a motion to approve, to vote on these, Ms. Long?
No, you can nominate one of these individuals, all of these individuals, well, you don't have to nominate anyone, but it has to
Or we
be
can
nominated.
abstain?
You can abstain.
Do we have any discussion? Well,
Do we have a very quick discussion?
yeah,
Is there
no,
a
I think we should have a
meet the
motion. Yes.
Yeah, Is
Discussion
there
on the
a meet the
motion.
candidates night to find out anything about
I
these
thought we got,
individuals?
It's after,
Yeah.
It's after we take this vote?
it's after the nomination.
do we get any bios? I thought we got,
If the information was attached to the board.
yeah, I think we got the bios of each Mary, we,
got
Ms.
it
King,
mailed?
we got
It was
mailed to our house, and also we got bios of each individual. That's all, yes.
I remember the mailing, I just didn't find it very detailed in terms of knowing anything about them.
We got bios for each, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have
Yeah,
to
we got-
nominate.
Ms. Long sent
We
it
could
out.
abstain from all.
We don't have to, as long as one person is nominated from some district, they'll be on there, and then they'll have meet the candidate night, and then we'll vote for that, just like we do here for
I
our
would
trustees.
I mean, I don't think, I don't feel that we need to take a vote on this
No.
if we don't need to. I'm
Oh.
not for a vote.
Something else I think we should mention, though, is anybody can run for the BOCES board. Any person in our town can run who wants to run. So, and if that happened, I think we have until March 21st to nominate. So if someone did come forward, we could possibly have an emergency meeting to nominate. If someone from Merrick wanted to do this, right?
Ms. Merrick?
From North Merrick.
Okay,
Yeah, actually,
well,
I heard last
all
night
right.
that we didn't have to, that you don't have to be from, this Board of Ed can nominate somebody from Massapequa, is what I heard last night. So we're asked to maybe nominate, these people here. They're not from North Merrick, the people on this list. So it doesn't have to be a North Merrick resident. So if someone came forward and approached one of us and said, hey, I really want to be on the board of Boces, we can nominate them.
Good to know. All right. So we're not taking a vote on this? Is that the consensus
I don't
of the
think
board?
I wouldn't want to.
Mr. Corona, Ms. Moran?
No.
Mr. Nello? Ms. Keen and Ms. Miller. All right, moving on. Can we have a motion to approve the personal actions report 6A, detailed in the mailing? Motion by Ms. Miller, second by Mr. Nello. All in favor? Aye. Motion unanimously carries. A motion to approve 7A, or 13 IEPs. A motion to approve
Motion.
by Ms. Keen, second by Ms. Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Report on committees. Our high school report, Mr. Corona.
Wow, we're here already. Okay, so at our last high school meeting, we honored Jennifer Verwis, who is a science teacher at MAMS. She earned Master Teacher Distinction from New York State. We also had presentations from our B&B program, CHAMP program, and On Tour program. So if you don't know what those are, B&B is the Belmore Merrick Broadcasting Program at MEPM. The CHAMPS program is our culinary arts program, and On Tour is our performing arts program. So the B&B did a presentation, and they also taped our meeting that night, and we also voted as a board up there that we will now post videos of all our board meetings, which we hadn't done in the past, but we think it was about time, and now we'll be doing that. The CHAMPS program of culinary arts was great. They cooked a wonderful dinner for the Board of Ed and also had beignets for everyone who attended the meeting. It was really very nice. I had a lot of leftovers. So the On Tour did a couple of performances, and it was really great to see these great district-wide programs that we have here. And Belmore Merrick is very unique that we're able to offer these in addition to others. And over the course of the last year, we've had presentations on many of our programs. So now that we are videotaping them and posting them on a website, I encourage anybody who wants to learn about what we have in our Central High School district to go on and to watch. It really was very exciting. And that was it.
Well, I think we need to step up our game with our food at our meetings, but thank you.
Yeah. They did. It was actually the day
Come back
after
with a platter for
Fat
us.
Tuesday, so the whole theme was New Orleans, and they had some incredible shrimp and
Nice.
po'
I think I need
boys
to go to
and
your meetings here. I gotta go
beignets
back.
and,
I want to get on a
Some
committee
of
here.
the meetings, my daughter was in the CHAMP program at Kennedy. It was amazing.
yeah.
Nice.
We had some students come back who are now at CIA and things like that, and really very successful.
Sounds
It's a very, very good program.
Thank you.
Hint, hint.
All right, our school community relations PTA council.
I'll do
Mary?
that.
Okay.
Of course, the PTAs are still doing incredible things. Camp Avenue had Darren Sardell for a virtual poetry reading on Valentine's Day. They had a sports night for third and fourth, they had a sports night for second and third graders on March 4th. Then on the 11th, they're having the fourth and fifth graders. And then on the 18th, they're having the kindergartners and first graders. They're doing a hot cocoa bomb fundraiser and the option of different flavors. The yearbook orders are due on April 11th, and they're working on getting group pictures from music and other clubs. Their next PTA meeting is March 23rd, 7:30, and I think we said in March that they're all going to be in person. Old Mill Road is planning their family fun night for the spring. The PTA is preparing nominating committees for next year's slate. It's good to put names on those volunteer papers and make some suggestions. We're trying to get back some old events, having difficulty finding parents chairing events. So if anyone is willing, I know it's a lot because we're all crazy with life, but the executive committees, the PTA executive committees really need some more volunteers, specifically Old Mill, but I've been to all the PTA meetings and I'm getting that impression from all of them. So they're doing lots of things. They're sending emails, they're putting it on Facebook. So they're really asking for a lot of help. The next PTA meeting is March 23rd at 7:00. And then for Fayette, they've had a bunch of assemblies. They had an after-school event, popcorn fundraiser. They might have pizza. Tickets for the Yankee game on May 21st at 1:30. It's $60, and it includes the ticket, a hot dog, and drink. So it sounds like a great fundraiser. Their father-daughter skating event was super successful. Their plant sale began on March 1st, and it ends on March 17th through Jamesport Greenhouse. And their yearbook sale ends on March 10th. Their next PTA meeting is also on the 23rd at 7 o'clock. And SEPTA, I don't have details, but SEPTA continues to do incredible things and incredible fundraisers. So.
Very nice. Yeah, we enjoyed the father-daughter skating. It was very, very nice. Oh, I'm sorry. Almost building and grounds. How could I forget you, Mr. Carter? No. Are we ready for the 2 inches of snow tomorrow? Are we ready? Plow with my car.
So, over the break, we got a lot done, when the break happens, the guys come in and do all the things we can't do during the normal school year.
Can you speak into the microphone? I'm sorry, just because we're live streaming. I'm sorry. Okay.
Is it on? All right.
There we go.
So, as I was saying, we got the playground at HDF repaired finally. When they started to
Great.
repair it the first time, more parts broke. We had to procure them. Finally, it's fixed. And then right after that, we added more wood fiber to keep the playground safe. The giant oak tree behind Camp Avenue that provides amazing shade to the playground, we had that pruned and thinned out so it stay healthy and continue to provide that shade for years to come. The guys insulated a bunch of pipe underneath OMR, not one of those cool things that you can see, but definitely worthwhile. Energy savings and also comfort in the rooms above. Lots of theater arts equipment going over to Brookside. The guys have been back and forth a lot. We're expecting some really good programs, so get excited for theater arts. Obviously, deep cleaning throughout the buildings, the cafeteria floors, the kitchens, the bathrooms and stuff. They get a good deep scrubbing over the weeks, over the February break. And also, we have some training coming up. Tomorrow, we have fuel oil tank compliance training for the head custodians because we do have a fuel oil tank on each site. And boiler inspections are at the end of this month through Hartford Steam Boiler. So lots going on. Always amazed by the guys doing a great job. And with the weather this time, it's a shoulder season. We've had record highs and slush and rain and putting down ice one week and raking the next. So they do an amazing job as always.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
And about the playgrounds. So we did meet with the playground guy, and what he's going to do is he's going to put a lot of options out there for us based on what we have and recommend which ones he would prioritize. Naturally, it's going to be money driven. So we're going to buy as much as we can for the money we get, which is why Dr. Seniak's office is hammering Brooks's office for more money.
I'm going to say any parents here,
Yeah, if anybody has a hook.
Send emails to Senator Brooks's office
Yeah,
and
just
let's
hey,
bombard them.
we heard at a
There's
board
money
meeting,
there.
you were giving us money. How could he not, right?
Why not? The budget's going to
We'll
get
guilt
passed
him
in
into it.
April, so
Right.
he can get us some dollars.
So
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna do what we can with what we get, and it'll be amazing no matter what we do.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Long, communications?
Hi. We received 10 communications. Let me read this, right? Okay. One was regarding the amicus brief. One was about classroom snacks. 2 about masking. 2 about the Brooklyn school that stopped masking. 3 emails were about adjourning the last board meeting, and 1 was for more time for the budget meeting.
Great. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Any unfinished business by the board? Any new business by the board?
Yeah, I think I want to bring up a report from last night. I attended the NASA Suffolk Board Members Coalition. I just want to share with the board
Sure.
a couple of things that we learned there last night. One of them was we spoke a great deal about the Boces board, and we already had a quick discussion earlier, encouraging people, maybe some new blood, to apply for that and see if they can get elected. They kind of looked around the room and was hoping that somebody there would volunteer, but there weren't too many. A lot of us are already spread kind of thin, but they did mention that any person that we know in the community, any community who's interested, maybe should be encouraged to join. It might be worthwhile. Also, a number of people there were concerned, and I just want to share this news that they mentioned about these ADUs, which are called alternative dwelling units. They said it was actually a pretty big concern for some districts that these would be units that you could put in your backyard and people could live in them, and it might be some future impact on school districts. It's the first I heard of it, and I went home and I Googled it, and I saw a lot about what it was, but maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's on the horizon. I think the good thing about this coalition is we hear things that, we have no idea what they're about, and they could be the next big thing that's going to affect our school district. So I think it's important to, bring some information back and tell you guys about it so you're aware. So it's not like you're here for the first time and, interesting things that we learn. It's actually a very good coalition. We get there and we hear, like I said, things that are happening in Suffolk County, Nassau County, and it's a very good place to share information that we're hearing. It's also good that, we talked about UPK, and it was nice that we had a discussion here tonight about it. There's some discussion about wellness, and it was also very good to know that we are doing such great things, wellness here in North America and also at the high school level. So it was a very, very good meeting. Just wanted to share what I learned. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Gives me something to Google at 3 o'clock in the morning. ADUs. I never heard of that, but it's another reason I won't sleep. Excellent. All right. So new business, Mr. Corona took care of that. All right, public comments. If we have any public commenters, I'm not going to read the policy again. I'm going to spare you. So if you have any cards, any speakers, Mr. Lentini, you're up first because I just saw you. So let's just go. Thank you. Welcome, our former
Thank you.
trustee, Mr. Lentini.
I just wanted to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you. I know how hard it was, and this was not an easy thing for you guys to navigate. You guys,
Yes.
no, I'll be
Signing
short.
everybody, yes.
Really, really thank you. Our administration, thank you. And our teachers, thank you. Kids felt as normal as they could have possibly felt under the circumstances. Dr. Seniak, I know your leadership and your ideas and all that you've done. I thank you so much. You should get an extension tonight.
Oh, and I'm doing that.
But thank you all, really. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
With that note, I'm going to just add, I'd like to also thank, we have our union president here, all of our unit staff, our administration, because we're a team. And thank you, Mr. Lentini. Mario Finelli. Hi. Good evening.
Taller than me? All right, good. Sorry, I wasn't here last time. I missed a good one. So we're not gonna.
Thank you for coming tonight. I think this is the best one.
Yeah,
because
I
we're
promise
not
I won't
wearing
bring up
masks and
masks.
the children aren't wearing masks anymore.
My name is Mario Finelli. 2 neighbors right there. Good to see you guys. Right down the block. My daughter just started attending Old Mill this year. She's in kindergarten. My wife and I work in Flushing as teachers. I'm a middle school teacher. Math and Flushing. So, that's not that difficult. But so one of the things I wanted to bring up is because we have to travel so far, daycare at Old Mill early care starts at 7:15. The problem is that we basically can't get there to our job because daycare starts late. Now, I know the Merrick schools like Chatterton, they have an early care program that starts at 7 o'clock. I think it's run by a different program or something like that. I'm not sure the exact details. I think it's scope. But I was wondering if there was something that can be done, hopefully to start of next year, because I know it could take time, where we could maybe, I don't know, start early care at 7, because I've talked to other members of the community that also have issues that they have to hop on a train to get into the city. They have to travel into the city by car, and traffic has become a nightmare since COVID. I know in my school, 10 years ago, before COVID, we didn't let our students in until 7:30, but there were a lot of parents that were having problems with that because they had to get to work. So they brought it up to my principal. We worked together as a team, and a CCNY came in. They started an early care program at 7 so the kids could get breakfast, get in from the weather, and it really helped the parents out a lot. And it helped the students out a lot because they would have to wait outside sometimes, even though it was a middle school and they were older. So it's just something I'm asking for. It's extremely important because this is life-changing for a lot of us in this community. if you could possibly look into something that just gives us 15 minutes.
Sure.
That's all a lot of us need, just to make sure that we can continue with 2 incomes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
and,
much, guys.
Dr.
Yeah, I
Simpson, you
would-
want to
right,
defer her to give
Thank
your
you so
response,
much for
Mr.
coming
Finelli?
up and coming to our meeting. I meet with Miss June Smith, who runs the program quite often, and I will definitely put this on the agenda. And, we're very creative here in North Merrick, and if maybe they can't start till 7:15, maybe we can have someone from 7 to 7:15 until they can start the program, open the building, and supervise the children. So we'll definitely look at all options. Thank you.
Yeah, and and if you didn't put your phone number on there, yeah, Joanne, Ms. Long will contact you if that's all right, Dr. Siniak, after you, for follow-up. All right, Rez Rios, or did I butcher that? Or I just can't see that, I can't read the handwriting. Rellias, I'm sorry. Come on, print it.
Oh, my handwriting's sloppy. You should know that by now. Yeah, so just did want to observation, after spring break, no spike, nothing. All of last week, all the schools, 0 cases. Haven't got any emails this week, 0 cases. Awesome.
Thus far, don't jinx us.
I know. I do miss your emails. I'm not gonna lie. I get that.
You're the only one.
I don't.
But I mean, I think that says a lot about masks in the schools. I mean, there's still positive cases in Nassau County and everywhere, but 0 cases in the schools. I think let's acknowledge that, and let's see that, put 2 and 2 together here and really see if really the masks were doing something. With that, I did get notification that we still have a policy that if someone is in close contact, which I'm assuming since there's no mask is in a classroom, if someone tests positive for COVID, those kids need to still be wearing masks for 5 days. Is that still in effect?
May I clarify? I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
want to
go
cut
ahead.
you off. You only have 3 minutes,
Okay.
I don't want to cut into your 3 minutes.
Oh, no
Um,
problem. I was short today, so go ahead.
If someone in a class does test positive, there will be a communication that will go out just to alert the families and to alert staff, and the recommendations will be provided. They are not mandates.
Okay, just want to make sure because the letter we
The
got. was a little
mandate
confusing.
that is in effect is that if someone tests positive and they are home for days 1 through 5, which they
Mhm.
need to be, and then
Sure.
they're asymptomatic and they're fever-free, and they come back to school for days 6 through 10, they must wear a mask.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
And
Thank
that's
you for
for-
clarifying that. Yeah.
That's for what,
CDC.
CDC rule. That's
Yeah,
a
no,
CDC
yeah,
rule,
that,
right.
So I'm glad I was able to clarify
I
that.
do appreciate that. And just finally, just to put everything, all is behind this hostility and stuff like that. Part of it, I think, will kind of build all that stuff like that. It's kind of perception. And I think kind of what that means is, whether it's this meeting or the middle school, high school meeting or other elementary school meetings, a lot of inconsistency where some meetings people could talk without a mask. Some meetings people were forced to wear a mask if you were talking or behind there and meetings were adjourned because people weren't doing it. So it's just very confusing, that messaging.
Well,
And
I'm
then,
just going to stop you for 1 second because
Yeah.
we can only control what happens.
no, I get that.
with
No,
me,
no,
and-
I mean, it's
and I'm
more,
just gonna- No, I just would like to say,
Sure.
we never kicked anyone
Yeah,
out not wearing
no.
a mask. And what I have to say, we were pretty lax. We did not enforce the.
yeah, no, very much agreed here. Again,
Yeah.
like I was saying, between here, the other Belmore, Merrick, I was speaking more of the general Belmore Merrick because I know some people here. But then also really, and again, this is really in general speaking, for the Belmore Merrick School District, is also like we told kids they couldn't be near each other, couldn't hug each other. 5-year-olds couldn't hug each other, and like you need that physical support. But then parents, they'll go to board meetings and they'll see people hugging folks who are retiring, folks who are actually in the high risk age range, and like taking pictures with kids and stuff like that, and like being super close. But then yet our parents come home and then like our kids can't be near each other at school. And I know that's a policy, people wearing masks, but I'm just perception. And it builds hostility. It gets feds the fire and the anger amongst parents because they're seeing one thing and then their kids are living in a completely different world. So just God forbid we ever get near that situation again. Guys, be mindful of that, do what you preach stuff type of thing, because, that's kind of what will help ease the hostility and stuff like that. If, you guys are kind of living the same world that we're living with our kids. So that's all I really had to share. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Kapadia. Thank you. Welcome back.
Good evening. Like Mr. Lentini, I want to start by thanking all of you and the people behind us over here for all of their hard work in supporting our children. I also want to start by thanking the district for something that I noticed was a little bit different this year. I heard Dr. Seniak at the last meeting talk about how we should go home and ask our children about Black History Month. So I did, and for the first time, my fourth grader was able to articulate back to me some of what she learned. And so I want to thank you and the teachers and the district for that, because I think it's really important. I think it's also important in light of the fact that, as I've spoken about before, this district is becoming more and more diverse. In fact, on the 20th of January, New York State Education Department released its education enrollment numbers for schools and for school districts. And since my daughter goes here, I looked it up and I saw that Fayette's percentage of children of color had gone up from 39% to 44%. And I imagine it's going to continue to go up as the district becomes more diverse. I think that's a great thing. I don't know if everyone agrees. I don't mean all of you, but just in general, if everyone agrees, but I happen to think that's a great thing. As a person of color, I can say it's incredibly important to have your culture, your heritage, your nationality, the languages you may speak at home, as well as your background and everything else appreciated. And so I thought that was really great that Black History Month was emphasized this year. And it got me to thinking about how that's not the only month in the year. In fact, Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15th to October 15th. Today is International Women's Day, and this is Women's History Month. And when we get to May, we have Asian American Heritage Month. And I thought about how the district's done such a good job with Black History Month, and of course there's room for improvement, but I just thought about how great it would be for Hispanic American students, girls, African American students, Asian American students to have their cultures emphasized and appreciated. And the reason I think it's important is because when we emphasize different cultures and show our appreciation for them, show achievements by prominent people, I think it brings a greater understanding amongst children. My daughter the other day brought lunch to school, because she always does, and two kids in her class made fun of her for what she had brought. And I can't help but think, wow, if we had a greater appreciation of different cultures, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Maybe she wouldn't have felt bad that day. And it just got me to thinking, wow, you know, if we had that greater appreciation by great teaching of different communities, different cultures, different backgrounds, I bet our school culture would be better. I bet it would be one that's more appreciative, where that 44% feel even more respected and more understood. And so that's part of why I push for diversity. It's also part of why I think this district still has a ways to go when it comes to diversity in its hiring. A couple of months ago, I came to this meeting and I said, wow, you know, North Merrick's getting more and more diverse, but its teaching staff is not. And that's why I was a little disappointed to see that next month there's a Nassau County teacher hiring fair that emphasizes diversity. And Belmore Merrick Central High School District's participating, and Merrick School District is, but North Merrick wasn't listed as one of the ones. And I just think it's a missed opportunity, the same way that sometimes when we don't teach about Hispanic Heritage Month or Women's History Month or Asian American Heritage Month, I feel like those might be missed opportunities. And while this district does a great job with a lot of things, and I'm so thankful for it, I feel like we can still do a little bit better. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any, thank you. Do we have any other public commenters tonight? Okay, with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Tracy Miller, second.
Second.
I agree. All right, motion. Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming out. Have a great night. See you next month.